Crystal, I loved our discussion a few weeks ago with Kylie about wine tours in Chile. You going to go to Chile and do some wine touring?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to not only going there, that'll be one of my retirement possibilities of living, to conduct wine tours.
Leading wine tours with Kylie.
Yes.
Perfect.
Definitely.
I think you and Kylie make a great team, like the
Right,
dynamic duo. So in between your award-winning personality and that accent of Kylie's, like, who could lose? We asked you about your favorite wine tours, and Jennifer answered the call. We're about to hear her story in Portugal. Ooh. Crystal, you've got a story about a wine tour in Switzerland, and we'll also walk through a piece we found on wine tour basics. If you've never done a wine tour, how do you set this up? What do you do? Mm-hmm. We're going to tell you what you need to know, the 101. So whether you're interested in wine or just experiencing some of the most beautiful sites in whatever area you're visiting, seriously, I think wineries are so beautiful. Today's episode is for you.
Everywhere. Yes. And at the end of this episode and every episode, you'll hear our gear of the day pick. So if you're looking for best in class gear that's worth the price, head on over to our Amazon page at stackingadventures.com/GOTD. Or if you want to spell it out, gear of the day, you'll help the show and you'll help yourself adventure better and for less money. Boom.
Ready for adventure? From vacation to staycation, and from the mountains to the beach. This is the Stacking Adventures podcast.
Welcome to the Stacking Adventures podcast. We head around the world on this show with our adventure community. Crystal and I don't think we're really tour guides. I think we're more sitting along in the tour along with people. Aren't we? I don't think we're really tour guides.
We're the nosy friend that asks you like the personal questions, because, people are afraid to ask, how much did it cost? Or, they're afraid to ask like the specifics. So we're the nosy friend that wants to know every single detail, because, hey, we might recreate your trip, our own style. And that's the best way to plan a trip. It's to recreate someone else's, but your own style.
And like Joseph Rosendo said a few weeks ago on the show, it's all about the people. Mm-hmm. It's all about the people. And so we're going to ask the people about the things. She's Crystal Hammond.
And I'm Joe. He's Joe.
She is Joe.
He's Joe.
We are a little late in recording this. In fact, you're going to hear this tomorrow, which is normally not what we do. We have a few days between. But it's because, Crystal, I had no power.
See, I know why. I know what happened. Do you want me to tell everybody your business?
Oh, boy.
It's because he didn't pay the power bill because he was upgrading the family's ride. He bought a 2025 Pontiac Bonneville. Or is it a Bonfire? What's the model they're making these days?
Do they actually make a Pontiac right now?
No, they went out of business.
I was going to say.
That's the joke. Speaking of jokes, you guys probably heard this if you watched football. Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
Oh, man. No. Why? Oh, I know why. I do know why.
All right. It's a two-parter. Go ahead.
Because he's outstanding in his field. Yes. But
that was funny.
Hold on. There it is.
That was funny. So you're welcome, everybody who didn't hear it.
I realized that I think waiters are so important. I think waiters bring a lot to the table, Crystal.
Ha ha. Go ahead. But go ahead.
On that, people are you going to talk about
please stop.
Cool stuff or not? We are going to we're not going to talk about cool stuff. You know who's going to talk about cool stuff? Adventure Jennifer went on a wine tour, and let's hear from Jennifer. Let's hear Jennifer's story.
Hi, Joe and Crystal. This is Jennifer in Columbus, Ohio, and my story is about our wine tour.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know which Buckeye blanket to grab to show at the camera.
You people. You Buckeye people.
We're going all the way, you guys. We're going all the way. Boom.
National championship. Team looked good.
I wrap myself in Buckeye bliss every night.
The team looked good. I just wish your team didn't jaw so much.
Yeah.
They just talk trash a lot.
It's all right. They could back it up.
They can back it up. Anyway, Jennifer, even though
Thanks,
you're
Jennifer.
from Columbus and Crystal loves you, I'm going to go ahead and hit play and we'll continue.
And in March of 2023 to Portugal with another couple. We spent 5 days in the Lisbon area at an Airbnb at a nearby seaside vacation town, and then 4 days in Porto.
Oh, so two things. Went to Porto and went to Lisbon. Porto, of course, known for port wine, which is one of my favorite wines. Yeah.
Sweet.
Good stuff there. Very sweet dessert wine. And then Lisbon. Interesting story about Lisbon, Crystal, is that Lisbon is the reason why a lot of cities don't allow Airbnbs like they used to. Do you know this story?
No.
So Lisbon, in the early days of Airbnb, just let people rent out their apartments as Airbnbs. And then it got so bad that there's almost nobody who lives downtown because almost every single apartment in the downtown area became an Airbnb. And so cities often will use Lisbon as a
case study as to
know. Yeah. Like you don't want that. But however, Lisbon, just beautiful. I've heard from everybody. I'd love to go to Portugal.
Me too. It's on my list.
Back to Jennifer.
In Lisbon, we didn't do a tour, but we would buy wine at the grocery store, always Portuguese, and then compare the inexpensive wine to the more expensive wine for fun in the evening when we were back at our Airbnb. But to the wine tours. So we did a couple when we went to Porto for the second half of the trip. Our first tour was at one of the riverside aging caves down by the river. I think it was Callum, and it was so informative, and the tastings were delicious. We didn't have any experience with port before, and we have learned to love it since that trip.
It's funny, Jennifer. I also love port wine. It's so good at the end of a meal. If you've never had it before, though, I think a lot of people when they first have a Crystal think it's just like a sugar bomb.
Right. And it is desserty. And I don't know, they don't advertise it as much as, the dinner wines. And then a lot of times when you get to dessert, you're more focused on the sugar of what you're going to eat, not the sugar of what you're going to drink. Or normally the after dinner drinks are the espresso martinis, the chocolate martinis. Or the what are those, like the whiskeys, like the real drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what made me first try port, but I also like that she said that they went to the grocery stores to try those wines too, and that can also save you a ton of money. Also, and if you've been to our Gear of the Day page, you can fill up one of your handy dandy water bottles with wine if you want to travel, to a party or something on the cheap, or to the clubs for cheap. Be safe.
I love the idea though of taste testing these different wines against each other and just buying them on the cheap. I mean, this is a great way to be in the middle of a beautiful country, a beautiful place, and not have to spend a ton of money on an opening fee at a restaurant.
Oh yeah, the cork fee. Or if you're looking for souvenirs too, you can know but you can get away with cheaper gifts, what have you, because hey, most people wouldn't know anyway.
I went to TripAdvisor and I found the Porto Callum tour experience that she's talking about. And here's from their About page. Welcome into the world of port wine. Welcome to Porto Callum, a house that produces wine of superior quality. So they say themselves, widely recognized through successive international awards. Visit the cellars where our wines age for many years until they achieve their perfect balance and learn how to distinguish the different aromas and flavors in a wine tasting. Learn more about the unique landscape of the demarcated region of Douro Valley and get to know the features which make this wine a special and unique one. Take part in an unforgettable experience, which will teach you how to really enjoy a port. The duration is less than an hour. And when you go to the reviews, They get 4 stars out of 5, but a lot of people do this. It's rated number 26 of 106 things to do in that little region where the tour is. And oh my goodness, looking through the pictures on TripAdvisor of the people that went, really looks fun. 1,000 people give it a 5, 777 give it a 4, 312 give it average, 105 give it a poor, and 66 give it a terrible. The latest one, I'm just going to read it.
Yeah.
This person wrote, Caves Callum was recommended to me by the hotel, joined a tour with only 3 participants, which made interaction more interesting. Ooh. The guided tour was nice, as well as the port tasting afterward. The person before, that person was from Belgium. Person before was from Liverpool and wrote, an enjoyable evening in Porto. They start off with a browse around a little museum about port making, followed by a really interesting guided tour of the cellars where we learned so many interesting facts. Then we sat in a room, we're given 2 different ports and had the pleasure of listening to some traditional Portuguese live music and singers, which was really pleasant and enjoyable. The show lasted about 45 minutes. This was worth a visit. We don't drink port, but we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it, rather. We avoid it.
You avoid it?
We enjoyed it. This is, I think, an important point, though, Crystal. These places are beautiful. Looking at the pictures, it's so pretty. You truly don't have to be a wine fan to enjoy these facilities. I mean, going there and listening to live music, and you're in this beautiful, beautiful building.
Oh, can you drop that link in the YouTube chat?
Like,
will it let you?
Fantastic place. Yeah. Here we go. I'm going to put it in the, in the YouTube chat. For everybody who's hanging out with us.
I don't know why we didn't even think about that for other shows.
I was like, why would I do that? Right. I dropped it there. We can also include it in our
show notes. Yeah.
In our show notes. And I'm going to put it here so that we have it for the show notes. By the way, the price of the tour, and I know this is something that Sheena said she wanted to know. I'm clicking on the buy tickets. And when I go to the tickets, there's 2 different things. I can either learn, taste, and enjoy an authentic photo show in the facility. So that this was with the show, or I can just tour and taste. And if I want just the tour and taste, I click on the button and it says, drum roll. €9.
Wow.
And it appears there's a different price for different dates. But for now, in January, it's €9. So that might be a surge pricing thing. On the other side, if we want the music with the tour, we want the show like the person did in the review, that one is €25.
Ah.
And you can say that I want the English tour, by the way.
Oh, that's
so
perfect.
good stuff there. Not expensive. And especially if you're in Porto, you should definitely try the port wine. I mean, that's what they're known for.
Well, and then port wines too, aren't they like thicker and like the bottle is smaller too?
Yes.
It's so thick and like it's a heavy wine. Like
Yeah, very much. They serve it in a little tiny glass, or people have never had port. It's a little tiny glass. And the first time I had port, before I tasted, I was like, oh, are you ripping me off?
Right.
Because I'm barely having any. And then I have a little bit and I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yep.
I totally get it.
You're not throwing that back.
That's right. Back to Jennifer.
And seeing the huge casks full of wine was really cool. There was just a lot of information. It was definitely their tourist money, but it was really well done. After that, we would stop in at any of the port company shops in the cities to do their tastings. But the best thing we did was take the train through the Douro Valley, and we stopped at a small town and we walked to the tasting rooms of the local vineyards. The weather was wonderful and it was off season, so we had the full attention of the staff at the places that we went. We thought about taking a Viator tour, which would have helped us avoid a hike up the hill to a winery that does not do tastings unless you're part of a tour. But it was a lovely day, and the remaining stops that we did while we were in that town were really wonderful. So all in all, it was one of our favorite parts of the trip and one of the best trips we've ever taken.
Jennifer, thank you so much for making today's show. Just great. You know what I like? I like the fact that she didn't take the tour, and because they had a really nice day, it ended up being great that they didn't.
Well, and that's another thing. We've said this before. You don't want to overbook yourself either, because imagine, taking a train, getting off, stopping at all those wine places and, wanting to just be like, all right, we've done enough. Let's go back. But then you had already prepaid for this extra one. And it's like, now it's like, oh man, like maybe I'm too tipsy to do another wine. Like I won't enjoy it like I would have if it would have been the only place. So definitely keep in mind to not overbook on the tours too.
This is definitely becoming a theme. Plan around your energy level. Make sure that you give yourself plenty of rest days and days to just do whatever you want, if possible. Don't pack in your tour, especially the later days in the tour. You haven't been sleeping in your own bed. And even if you sleep good, it's not your own bed. And I find after a few days of sleeping in a hotel, I just don't get the rest that I do at home. And Cheryl and I have created a strategy where we will plan one big event each day. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of the day, if we decide to do something, like we have this list of want tos that we don't book, but then a list of things that we book. That train trip sounds phenomenal.
It does. Well, it reminded me of, and I can't believe I didn't bring this up, with Napa Valley, how it's like a whole line of wineries after winery after winery. And I ended up, when I went by myself, which was amazing. If you're ever afraid of doing that by yourself, do not be afraid. Like, I think it was better because I was able to pick and decide, but it was this beautiful castle. It reminded me of Italy. And then on the way back, I stopped at the outlet mall and I shopped till I dropped.
That's fabulous.
Have you been to Napa before?
I have. I went to the Castle Winery down at the end of Napa, and we ate not at the French Laundry, but at his other place, Bouchon.
Oh.
Thomas Keller is the chef. Yeah. Boy, that took me a second, but I came up with it.
It was closed when I
How about you?
It was Castello de Amorosa.
You did. That's the castle.
That is. Okay.
That's the castle at the end.
My favorite thing that I bought were these different wine flavored soaps.
Wow.
And they were wrapped
just so you can smell like you've been drinking all day?
Of course. Who wouldn't want to?
They
were floral and, more about the grape, not the... Okay, so it was the same castle.
When I went to that tour, we did the wine tasting, and in the second half of today's show, we're going to talk about how to do a wine tasting and a wine tour, how to kind of set this up. To Jennifer's story, who really, I think it sounds like, set up a lot of this herself, how to do it if you're going to do a do-it-yourself trip. But also, Crystal, we're going to hear about a winery you went to in Switzerland as well during your trip to Switzerland. But when I was at the castle, I had this experience. So we do the tasting, and the guy said, I think you're going to buy a case of wine for me. And I said, no, I think I'm going with these 3 bottles. He goes, no, I think you're probably going to buy a case. And I went, I'm not buying 12 bottles of wine. Like, these are, if you remember, those were not cheap bottles of wine.
No.
And in fact, the bottles of wine that I really liked were $95 each. Yes. And so I'm like, I'm going to buy one. We're going to have it for a special occasion. Then Cheryl had one that she really liked. Uh-huh. My son was with us. He bought one. So I'm like, no, I think we're buying 3. I think that's it. And then the guy he goes, follow me for a second. And he takes me out behind the castle. And he said, see that open area there? That's where we had the Napa fires the last year. And the fires burnt down one of our warehouses. That spot right there is where our warehouse was. So we used to have 2 places where we would hold the wine, and now we only have 1. He goes, so the problem is that I've got a bunch of new wine that's coming in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I don't have room to store it. He goes, so these $95 bottles of wine, I'm going to offer to you for 40 each. He goes,
What?
because I got to get rid of it in the next 2 weeks. And I looked at him and I said, I'm buying a case.
Right. You sold.
And they shipped it to our house, which was great because there was no way I was going to be able to pack a case of wine in my luggage. And yeah, ended up having, for special occasions for the next year and a half, we'd bring out this wonderful wine.
Well, what that reminds me of, like during the, what year? I don't know what during the recession, at Whole Foods, they used to do wines days. Every Wednesday, they would do like a 5-station wine tasting. But the sommelier, you don't even know, Whole Foods has one, but he said that they had to, during that time, they couldn't sell the expensive wines. So they had to put a secret label on them and sell them for cheaper.
Wow.
And so he actually gave us the list of the secret label wines. But it's just something that you wouldn't, like, it pays to be nice, you guys. Always be nice, always be chatty with like staff of anywhere you go, or even the waiters. I don't care if they spill a drink on your dress, still be nice. Like, you don't have to fly out the handle, because you get all this insider information that's priceless.
Well, and when people spill things too, what does getting angry do? Right. I mean, either they're doing it on purpose and they're a jerk, or it was a mistake. Yeah. So I've seen that before, and I'm like, how is this helping? Hey, I'm hearing the music come up though, Crystal, which means we're halfway through today's show. Means it's time for our road trip pit stop. The pit stop you're always dreaming about. What's at the end of the adventure? Are we there yet? And how cool it's going to be when we get there. Our pit stop is always a hint at our amazing Gear of the Day page, where we add one every week to this incredible page. Last week, we actually added the TripAdvisor app to the page. Speaking of something that we added, if you don't have the TripAdvisor app, we have no affiliation. TripAdvisor, if you want to sponsor our show,
let's have a party.
We're all about you. But it's a hint at our Gear of the Day. If you want to see past Gear of the Day or stuff that Crystal and I and other adventures use, stackingventures.com/GOTD or Gear of the Day, stackingventures.com/GOTD or stackingventures.com/Gear of the Day. All right, Crystal, what is our hint at this week's addition to the Gear of the Day shop?
Okay, so today's hint, this is something that's gonna keep you stay on track with your habits. Like, everybody has different habits. So, like, I love my daily habit at home. So being away from home, I bring something to keep me on track, keep me like going, so that I don't fall off. And then I'm like, oh man, I gotta do all this stuff to catch up from being on vacation. So I want to just keep rolling right through. I don't want to miss a step. I don't want to miss a beat.
Some kind of calendar then that you're using. Maybe it is a calendar. Maybe it is a beautiful, maybe it's a travel oriented calendar. That's what I'm going to go with.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So, hold on. I'm going to think about that, and I'll lock it in. In just a second here. All right, Crystal, it's something that keeps you on track, not missing a beat, going toward your goals.
Habits. It's habits, more habits, not even goals. You have a goal, yes, but a habit is something that you do.
I gotta say it's got to be a calendar. So I'm going with a beautiful, what are those? Put it on the wall, beautiful scenery every month. Calendar has a lot to do with the adventure travel theme. A good calendar. And it's fun because every month then you change the picture, right? That's on the calendar. So I'm going with that based on your look on your face. I think I'm wrong, but
who's going to carry a calendar? But I'm not going to. Not going to shine on your parade.
We'll know.
Some paper, yeah.
We'll know more at the end of today's episode. We find out what it is. Let's talk about your trip. You went to Switzerland. Now, you didn't go to Switzerland specifically for wine, though.
No. I mean, for tourism and Verbier for the ski slopes.
Ski slopes.
Yeah, ski.
I have never downhill skied.
The Swiss Alps. But so the place that we went to, it's called Les 11 Terres. It means the 11 terrains. Do I want to show the pictures, or I'll put a link to the picture? Well, no, we'll have the pictures.
Well, and looking at your pictures, flipping through your pictures, which you gave me, as I look at the pictures, I see this picture of 11 people on the wall, though, that look like they're criminals, like almost like the 19 Crimes wine.
That is funny. Yeah, if you look on there. So these guys, these are the wine growers of the 11 terrains.
That's so funny.
It doesn't look like it, because even like they do, because they look dark. They
sketchy.
Look like the way they here, I'll give you guys this in the link. Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to share to the live
I think so.
chat. Let's see. The live stream chat. They do. They look like total criminals, like, because they make them dark. They look like mugshots. That's exactly what the pictures look like. But the wines come from different areas. A lot of Domaine Pierre Fonjols, the Pierre Fonjols. So these are all different areas that they get. The intro says, the cellar of our house conceals a collection of more than 50 Laval Crawl, where sees a lot of Chasselas is a king, but which will also surprise you with its white and red specialties. So 11 lands, 11 wine growers, where we will find the nectars that charm us according to our tastes and desires of the moment. Oh, that the words are so sexy. As we are curious and like to test a maximum of flavors, our cellar is in constant movement and offers you different wines according to the seasons. So we were there for New Year's. Happy New Year. And it was rainy, but it was still pretty. So now but this is back in 2017. So when you if you go that late, and the food was good, they had little bites. You love a little Swiss flag, and
you went to make sure that they're still open today. You did that when we were prepping for the episode, and they're still operating today. Yep. They're giving wine tours today. Did it cost anything?
Yes, I don't remember. It was really cheap though. And then unfortunately, me and my friends, we always like fight each other to pay the bill. So I don't even remember what. I think it was maybe around 20. I remember $21 for the tasting but you see, you got a lot with it.
Yeah. People that are hanging out with us live on YouTube are seeing pictures of the sausages. Looks like black sausage there in the middle, and then more traditional sausages, some onion, onions and little gherkins or
cucumber.
Right.
It's a cucumber, right?
Pickles.
Pickle? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Pickles, and then bread.
And cheese.
Nice big slices of bread.
A lot.
Yes. And
they give you a lot. And these are all the different wines. Like there's like a whole bunch of different bottles. I don't even remember how many. And it's dog pet friendly. People had their dogs in there. They were super cute. And when the guy was talking to us, see, those are the guys. They're all hanging up on the wall too. They say that so their wineries, they say they get 3 suns. They get sun from the sky, they get sun from like the glass of the buildings, and sun from the river. So it was really cool to say, for him to tell us how complicated the process is for them and making their wines and curating the wines. And so I definitely highly recommend this place. Oh, and you signed the book. So it was 20. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think it was
$20.
Yeah.
There it is right there. $20 recommended by TripAdvisor. And what's wild about this is a tasting room. And a lot of the time, I think what we forget, Crystal, is that even if we're not out in the vineyards, which is, where I like to go, you could still be, it looks like this is a little small building right in the middle of town.
Oh yeah. Yep. And it was right off the road. Like you can't see, we were literally pulled up and parked and stopped there and went on in, had a great time. It was super cozy. And yeah, it was right off the road, and literally the the river was right next on the other side of that road in the parking lot and stuff. So it was a cute little pop in, kind of pop out, kind of stop.
Beautiful stop along the way for 20 euros. Did you buy any wine when you were there?
No, I didn't even buy any in Napa Valley either. But if the guy would have given me that spiel, I would have.
Less than half price.
Oh, man.
For $100 bottle of wine. Yeah. Oh, and that wine, if you remember, was so good.
It was
delicious.
Stupendous.
Let's end today's show. And don't worry, adventurers, we've got a little time left, so we're not ending anytime soon. But with some wine tips from a really nice website I found called WesleyWineTips.com. Imagine that. This is Wesley's piece on wine tasting tours, a step-by-step beginner's guide. And it goes through all the steps. And step number one, I think, is really important. And this was something that I heard from Jennifer. It sounds like Jennifer did a good job of researching and planning the wine tasting tour. Like if you want to include wine in your trip, I think that a lot of different areas include wineries. There are so many good ones, but a lot of the time the good ones are hidden. Like as an example, in northern Michigan, when I went there, the number 1 and number 2 wineries in northern Michigan are not places that really cater to tourists. They have a wine tasting area and you can go and you can do a tasting, but they're a little bit off the beaten path and they don't cater to tourists. There's 2 different types of wineries in any wine region. There are wineries that make all of their money by getting people to come in the front door and selling them wine. Right. Mm-hmm. And I've certainly been to those. They have a beautiful tasting room. They have a huge experience. They give you the half off spiel.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that winery that you're talking about in Napa, that place makes money off people coming in the front door. That is, even though I got what I think was a pretty good deal on wine, they still make money on tours. You could totally see it. And the fact is, I never see that wine anyplace else. Like I never see it anyplace else. So that's how they make it. Or they make wines that they're going to sell through other distribution channels, and they'll also have a tasting experience. So the 2 main wineries in northern Michigan that I really like, they both aren't like the world's best tasting rooms. In fact, in one of them, the winemaker actually came out and was the guy doing the tour. And the woman who normally does a tour, she was like, I'm so sorry we're having this issue, but you've got a good news, bad news thing. The winemaker himself is going to do the tour. She goes, he's kind of salty. And man, was he salty. This dude, I felt like I had to cover my ears because there were truckers around and the truckers were going to get embarrassed because this guy was swearing so much. But it was pretty funny. He also just told the truth. He's like, we were with these people from New Jersey. And the people from New Jersey go, can we try the red? And the guy literally, Crystal, goes, yeah, you don't want to try my red.
See, honesty.
And the woman goes, no, I really want to try a red. He goes, I understand you want to try red. He goes, let me tell you 2 things. Number 1, we're in northern Michigan. And northern Michigan, and by the way, they've come a long way in this area over time. This is maybe 15 years ago this happened. And they've done some things that have changed. Reds in northern Michigan, still not wonderful, but not horrible like they were back then. And he said, number 1, you're in northern Michigan. We don't have the climate for red wine. He goes, at number 2, because we don't have the climate and because I got to do so much stuff to it, guess what that means I got to do to the price of the bottle? Oh. He goes, so I have to sell you a wine that sucks for $45 when you could buy a $10 bottle of wine at the grocery store that frankly is going to be a lot better than my $45 bottle of wine. And she goes, well, I really want to taste it anyway. He goes, oh, he literally rolls his eyes at her. And then he pours us all some, and it was garbage. Oh, and he literally sits there. The guy who makes the wine is telling us it's garbage, which was a wonderful part of the tour. Like that was great.
Like, I mean, that's priceless also. Like that is, he's like, I'm trying to save you from yourself and you're not listening.
And then he brings out his whites, which were fantastic, which were just really, really, really good. So, and I know some people out there going, Michigan, white wine, really good. There are some that are pretty good. All right. Back to this. So researching and planning You have to find out where you're going to have your wine tasting tour. It's an important decision. Wesley writes, decide how far you're willing to go. I generally prefer to incorporate wine touring into where I'm going anyway. So I didn't go to Chile to do a wine tour, but if I'm in Chile and they have good wines there, I'm going to spend a day touring wine. So that's how we decided to meet up with Kylie and have a wine tasting with her. Number 2 is booking. And it says, even during the off season, you want to make sure you make a reservation, because during the off season, they might be closed certain days. You don't just want to show up. I've made this mistake myself, Crystal.
Oh yeah. Italy. For me, a lot of places were closed. I wanted to go to the fabric shop, but I couldn't because they were on holiday.
Yeah. Especially if you're going during the off season. And like Jennifer said, there were only just a few people, touring with her, which made it really special.
March. I think I would want to go to Portugal in March, like when it's not as crazy.
But definitely make sure that you are going to book the place. Number 3, it says understanding the wine basics. Now they're going to teach you this at wine tastings, and it's actually really fun to learn. It says wine tasting tours are not for getting drunk, which is very true.
Darn it.
However, you might end up a little drunk anyway, as you and I both know, Crystal, from having done this before. You still come out and you're like, hey, I'm feeling pretty good. But look at the way the wine looks. So it's the 5 S's, the way it looks, the sight, then the smell. What I've loved by learning how to do this over time, and I took a wine tasting class that was 8 weeks long. And
8 weeks.
Yeah, and it was really cool because I got to the point that for a lot of wines, I enjoy smelling it because then you imagine, almost like our pit stop, our road trip pit stop, where you imagine the end of the tour. I'm imagining what this calendar thing is that you're telling me about. You smell it and you start thinking, what is it like? And then when you taste it, if it's different, that's significant. And if it's the same, that's significant.
Well, then they tell you too, because I think I was at it like a whiskey or bourbon tasting, and they were like, when you smell with your mouth open versus closed, that's 2 different scents also, because you smell with your nose and sometimes also. And I was like, oh. Then I came back, cultured after I learned all this. So next time I had a glass of wine, I was making sure everyone knew, you don't hold red by the stem or whatever. Like of course, I mixed it up, but I was.
What are you doing, you heathens?
Totally, right. Oh, yeah. I was a total tool when I got back. I was like, oh, man, did I really act that crazy?
Nobody wants to hang out with Crystal because she's the know-it-all.
Be like, oh, no, she's coming back from a vacation. Avoid. Like, get your souvenirs and run.
You'll see people swirl their glass. They do that on purpose because it opens the wine up. In fact, one of my favorite types of wine called a Barolo, which is an Italian wine, they tell you to open the bottle an hour before you're going to serve it. And if you have it right away, it's a really good wine. If you have it right away, it's not going to taste good. Then take a small sip, fully coating your tongue and palate, just a little tiny bit. And you want to know how it coats your tongue. If it gives you, like sometimes the wine, it tastes really good on the front of your tongue and it's nasty on the back. Other wines taste very smooth, some around the outside, like they have a tartness to it. And then that's when, you hear these people go, so what are you tasting? What are the flavors? And man, if it's tart around the outside, I'm like, ooh, cherries. Ugh, my least favorite, which is why Northern Michigan Reds, I also don't like. It's just all cherry. And then it says savor it. Instead of immediately swallowing it, swish it in your mouth so you can get a better understanding of the flavor. In fact, as you know, the wine pros do something that I never do. They spit it out.
Yep.
Which is ridiculous. It's in your damn mouth. Swallow that stuff.
Well, I did that Waldorf Astoria downtown. I was observing the sommelier. I mean, the way he was dressed too, you couldn't help but stare at him. because he was like this size, but the suit was perfectly fitted. He was
this
super
size,
small,
and for
super
people
small,
listening
a
to
pencil.
this, he's stick
But it
thin.
was perfectly fitted. But he would, every single bottle of wine that went to a table, he had to taste it, but he spit everyone out. But I thought that was like a very high quality level of customer service.
Well, for him too, he's working an
Yeah.
8-hour shift probably, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he can't get hammered. Number 4, dressing to impress. This is an important point Wesley makes that I really like. Crystal, he actually says the opposite of what you're thinking, which is that you do not need to really dress up. A lot of people that haven't gone on wine tours think you got to be all dressed up. You can be fairly casual. Says feel free to dress comfortable, semi-formal attire that's ideal for standing, walking, and sitting for long periods of time. But it does say perfumes, colognes, and body mist are an absolute no-go.
Right. Yeah.
Because everybody wants to smell the wines. So don't come all stinky.
Right. I like that suggestion about the perfume, but I always err on the side of overdressed. I don't care, but I'm super tall, so I can get away with wearing flats anyway. So 90% of the time you see me, I'm going to have on flats anyway.
Which much more comfortable to walk around.
Comfy, super comfy.
Way more comfortable. You're always the best dressed person at the event. So
appreciate it. Thank you.
Step 5, set yourself up with hydration and snacks. And this is important, especially if you're going to go to a few wineries in a row. I've made this mistake by winery number 3. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm done. I'm full of wine and I'm hydrated.
Went to your head. Yeah.
Have some water. Emphasis on snacks. You don't want anything too heavy. It says, but like crackers or a little amount of bread is perfect. You don't need to end the tour on a full stomach, but you definitely want to have something in your stomach because you are tasting alcohol.
Those are good suggestions.
There's something else there too, Crystal, which I learned in our wine class, which is, you had those beautiful photos of those sausages and the cheeses. Put the cheese and the sausages in your mouth at the same time that you pour the wine in your mouth, and it will give you a different taste of the wine. Some wines taste really, really good with food. And it's funny because the guy teaching our wine class, Vincent, told us, he said, people say just drink whatever, whatever you like, just drink it. He goes, that's a crock. He goes, and I'm going to show you why it's so bad. And he took some grapes and he served it with one type of wine and then another type of wine. And the first type of wine we had, he said, put the grape in your mouth and then like a half of a grape and get the grape flavor. And then now pour the wine in. Oh my God, did my mouth taste nasty. It was horrible.
Oh.
And then he had us take another grape and a different wine, and it tasted amazing. Just incredible. Then he did the same thing with the cheese. He took a cheese and a wine, and we had it together, and it was horrible. Then he had another one, and it was incredible. It was sublime. And he goes, you truly, if you want to have a great wine experience, understand what wines pair really well with other foods and which foods they pair with, and you're going to have a way better time than drink what you like. I'm glad he showed the distinction, because now you're never going to forget that. And I also noticed too, in Switzerland, we didn't get chocolate. Chocolate definitely changes the taste of wines, but they were like, no, you want to eat chocolate as you're leaving. Like these didn't pair with the chocolate. The chocolate. Yeah.
So they were like, no.
And yet some of the reds that I've had, red wines I've had, pair great with the ports, by the way. Going back to Jennifer's call, ports and chocolate. Delightful. And then it says to take notes. I was just in New York City for a Stacking Benjamins event that we did with Paula Pant, Afford Anything, and Doc G and Earn and Invest. But Paula and I went out to a place to get some drinks. And when we were there, Paula opened up her phone because she kept a list of what she liked. So when she went to the menu, the drink menu, she found one that she liked because she didn't trust her memory. I thought that was great. Yeah. Just if you find something you like, put it on a list and make a few notes. And then she literally just scrolled down the list to the thing, goes, ooh, I'm going to try that one. And I'm like, oh, why do you like it? She goes, I don't remember, but it's on my list. And sure enough, when she got it, she really enjoyed that drink. So take notes.
Yeah. Well, this is also my reminder too, because I usually take detailed notes, but sometimes I include like prices and stuff like that, and sometimes I don't. But now for the show, I'm going to make sure I'm keeping note of the prices of everything.
It's absolutely fabulous. I will link to this in the show notes so everybody has this available. Wesley's Wine Tips, good for planning out your wine experience. So I think for now, Crystal, we've done it with wine for a while. We might not be coming back to wine tours for a while after really doing it here, but man, I think there's a lot there to unpack. I'm glad to hear that Porto was a fantastic place, because that's on my bucket list of places to go.
It's definitely on mine now too. I'm glad we know about that perfume tip though too.
I think the perfume tip is a really, really good one.
It's a good tip in general, you guys.
And I think for a lot of people that have never done it, I certainly thought you had to, you hear about wines. When I was first getting into it, I thought you really had to dress up. No.
I do.
Yeah. You don't have to dress up. You can dress up if you want to, dress to impress, like Crystal Hammond.
Well, and I'm one of the first people to say, like, especially guys, sometimes guys do this. And I'm like, oh, you put on the whole bottle of cologne, huh? You want to impress someone in the room.
You had to have all of it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Time for our gear of the day reveal.
Revelation.
So your gear of the day that you revealed at halftime is to keep you on track with your habits. And it's the beginning of a new year. So definitely want to stay on top of our habits.
Yes.
And if we want to stay on top of them, especially when we're traveling, right? Yeah. So what do you got?
I've got exercise bands.
And exercise. Oh,
yes. And what's good about this one band is that it has all the illustrated exercises on it.
So exercise bands can,
yes,
you can use body resistance or attach it to your hotel room door.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to stay on track, especially if you're doing the wine tastings. Like, yes, you're going to do a lot of walking, but you want to add a little bit of strength and resistance training.
I've never taken one of those on vacation.
10 minutes a day can make a difference.
Do you know what's cool about that, Crystal? It takes up no room in your luggage.
None. You could put this inside of your gym shoes, or you don't even need gym shoes if you're using the resistance bands also. So just put it inside a pair of shoes. And it's not a piece of paper like a calendar, because who's going to take their calendar?
Easy. I'm sitting right here.
Vacation and hang it back up.
Okay, I'm wrong.
Just kidding. It was a great guess. It was a great guess.
I am going to get that one because I travel a lot and I don't do a great job of working out when I travel.
Do 10 minutes. You could do it before bed or right when you wake up.
That's great.
While you're waiting for Cheryl to get dressed, just do, hit.
I love the fact that, and a lot of times I'm just traveling for business, so I'm on my own.
Oh, yeah.
But I will get busy working, and I'm like, I don't want to go down to the gym. I don't want to get changed. I don't want to. But, man, I could use that resistance band right in the room. And there you go. And you're doing your thing. I love the fact that it's printed right on it.
Yeah.
Right on it. All different activities you can do with the band. That's super cool. That's good. Because I'm always wondering, I'm like, okay, what do I do next? Yes.
Oh, yeah. When I go to the gym, I go to classes. Otherwise, I'd just be lost. Time would go so slow. Like, I have to go to a class or have a trainer or else. And I am a certified trainer, and I wouldn't do it by myself.
Speaking of trainer, there are some things that I've changed since we started doing this podcast just over 6 months ago. I started using the Hyatt Point program.
Oh.
I already had it and I like this tip that somebody gave me a long time ago. Just sign up for the program, no matter what program it is. Sign up for the program. And there's no cost. So I was already in the Hyatt program because the official hotel of some conference I went to was a Hyatt, so I would get in it. But now that I'm in the Hyatt program, I've noticed a couple things. Number one, the Points Mom. For people that want to go back, this was in December. Go back and listen to the Points Mom episode. She talked about how Hyatt has a better program. They make a big deal of the fact that they do have a quote schedule of different hotels that you can stay at, but they also have this neat progression program where you get these quote milestones. And whenever you hit a milestone, you get a one-time perk. So one perk I can get is on American Airlines, I can get a better seat preference. I can get the upgraded seat preference without having to pay more money if I choose that, or I can get an additional 2,000 points, or I can get one of many different perks depending on the milestone I hit. So the longer you're in the program and you use the program, you're going to get those one-time perks, but also much like the Marriott one that I've been in, I'm very linked up with the Marriott program. And that's going to be a little difficult this year because I walk into a Marriott hotel and I love the fact that I have all this gold status stuff that I do. And I'm letting all that go to try to build a new one. But I do have to say, initially, I like the Hyatt program. The couple of Hyatts I've stayed at since we recorded that episode, though, I haven't loved the hotels as much as I've loved the Marriott hotels. But if I can stay at a hotel that's just a little bit less nice, and still accumulate points faster, I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm going to try it. I'll tell you this. This is, I was with my nephews. My one nephew just got out of the Navy. And so, these kids quote are older. One was in college, one was in high school, and one was an adult. And it was his birthday. And so at the end of the night, we were staying at this Hyatt Place hotel in Dallas because the next day I was taking them to meet their plane to fly home. And so we go downstairs to the lobby to watch the football game, and there's a bar there. And I asked the woman at the bar for, he wants a Jack and Coke. And I wanted, speaking of wine, a Pinot Noir, a red wine, right? And so she takes my order and then she comes back and she goes, okay, we don't have Coke. Is Pepsi okay? And my nephew, Colin, says, yeah, it's okay. And then she looks at me and goes, so what exact wine did you want? And I said, a Pinot Noir. And she goes, okay. And you don't want that mixed with anything?
Oh my goodness.
And when you have a bartender that doesn't know that wine does not mix with anything, I'm like, well, I want to mix it with a good hangover. Like that would be no fun.
Oh man.
Yeah. So we'll see. But the Hyatt Point program so far, I like the structure. I already saw what she said, that there's tables. Like this is a table 1 hotel, or table 2, table 3, table 4. Mm-hmm. And you can score these amazing hotels that are on a table with lots of hotels that are not like it, and there is no surge pricing. They have all of the hotels have the same price on a given day that are on that table. So if you can find a superior hotel that's on a table with some that are worse, man, if you've accumulated some points, you can go some places like Cynthia did that are cha-ching.
Stupendous. Oh, that's cool. That's good to know. I've been using the portals a lot more. If I'm buying something, I'll go through the credit cards portal.
Yes.
If I have to buy something online. So I did that, especially Black Friday. But I love going to stores. But Black Friday, I did buy 2 things online, and I made sure I went through that portal.
I've been much more cognizant. After that episode, I went to my credit card and looked at all the perks. I didn't realize I get 1 free Uber ride a month because of our American Express Platinum card. I just get a free ride on Uber. So even if I don't need to take an Uber, I call up somebody and no, I don't. I don't do that, but I didn't have that hooked up. And the number of times I paid for Uber, I mean, there's another thing.
Yeah, we have offers, and I scroll through to make sure, because I check my balance every day because fraud happens. So, and I make sure I don't miss any offers that are currently there.
That's super good. Yeah, going back to that episode especially has paid dividends, but it also this time made me want to go to Portugal, Jennifer, even more. Hey, coming up, we have some great great episodes coming up. And if you'd like to weigh in ahead of time on these episodes, even though we haven't published the first one, this show is built around community. So take part in our community episodes. But we're about to bring up some brand new topics. We're going to talk about national parks. We're going to talk about Disney and how to plan a good trip to the Magic Kingdom in Florida, especially. And we are going to talk about, for Valentine's Day, we need your help on Valentine's Day, romantic adventures.
Or galentines for the single ladies.
Yes.
Oh, and guys too.
Yes. Romantic adventures with the gals.
Yeah. I mean, I love to send like even single friends to stuff for Valentine's Day, because a lot of times people don't think of us. People don't think of the single people.
Well, single people have romantic adventures too, though, Crystal.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had a romantic adventure or two.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So what is a romantic adventure? Let's hear about those. Crystal and I are going to go through our top 5 most romantic places we think would be great romantic stops, romantic trips, romantic things to do. So those are coming up. stackingadventures.com/mystory. You've got 5 minutes to tell your story. Jennifer took 2 today.
Yeah, that was quick.
Yep, super easy. We've had people, Nancy took like 30 seconds to tell us about her hotel in Limerick. Nancy, I still haven't come up with the Limerick yet about your name, but it's going to happen. All right, that'll do it for today. She's Crystal.
And I'm Joe.
We'll see you next time. Keep adventuring.
Yeah.